I see folks like Matt, and there's another guy that I just started following, Patrick Wyland, who, if I'm not mistaken, used to troll me, but I've been watching, and he's been doing some live sessions, and he's done some prop trading apparently, and he's hooked up with, I think it's Top Step, and he's calling it live. He's doing his executions, and that to me is commendable. That's I have a lot of respect for that. He's a bit of a character, and that's cool. I can appreciate that. But he and Matt they sit out there for hours, and they'll jabber on about whatever they're want to talk about, and then they push a button and they monitor their trades. And then at the end of the day, they condense their entire streams and do like a highlight thing. I don't have the time to do that this year. So that's the number one reason why I'm only doing two of them per week, because they're going to be about up to about 2 hours in length. So I'm not going to sit down and edit out all that stuff. You're going to see it raw, just the way it was if you were there live. I don't want to be in YouTube editing studio, every day of the week for hours at a time. And if you don't know what I mean by that, if you look at the presentation I made just last night for just a 2 minute video, the preparation for the first chart, look at the time in the lower right hand corner when I was showing the example for ES. That's a lot of time between putting one chart, annotating it, putting another chart, annotating it, presenting it, condensing it, rendering it, and then uploading it to the medium like Twitter or YouTube. YouTube takes a little bit of time because they like to run their algorithm, see if there's anything that they can ban your account or demonetize or flag you for something. So it all takes time. So the viewership, usually the ones that complain in my following is, I talk too much. And I want you to understand why I'm doing things, why I'm not doing things, why you should be focused on certain things and not so much on others. So, yes, when you're hearing someone teach you and they're trying to do their best, which is what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do my best to teach you. And you think, if you're new, if you're young folks coming here, you think that give it to me right now, real quick, dollar menu mentorship. Okay. Drive through mentorship. Give it to me real quick. Here's my money. Here's my time exchange. Okay. Not I'm charging now, but it's costing you time. But that time listening to me, I'm not wasting my time because I know I have at least one person that's going to listen to everything I'm saying. And it's going to spare them the pain, the suffering, the trauma that I had to go through. So it's beneficial for you to have the experience from the beginning of the stream to the end. Okay. And that's why I'm going to be just doing two. So if I find an opportunity that I outline for the week, and you'll pretty much expect it because we're doing daily commentary as well. So it shouldn't be things that fly out of nowhere, like, oh, where did you get that from? Okay. So hopefully it'll provide a little bit more context as to what it is you should be doing each day, and then how much time you're really not doing anything, which unfortunately feels like the thing that you should be avoiding. You feel like you should be doing something all the time as a trader or a developing student in price action, whether it be with me or someone else you're learning from. The common tendency for a new startup or a new student is that they feel like they got to be doing something every single day, pushing a button, trying to find a stuff every single day. When in the beginning, and the first stream is probably going to set the stage for who's going to stay here to learn and who's going to quickly say, this ain't for me. And I'm going to try to do my best to be exactly how I plan to be each time. So that way there is no sugarcoating it. There's no enticement to keep coming back. If it isn't exactly what you were hoping to see and learn from on the first stream, use that going forward because that's exactly how it's going to be. But I don't want to condense it and just go to the highlights, because if I read a candle wrong, if I say something that doesn't pan out, I need you to see it, because that's what you're going to encounter when you do it too. When I'm not sitting next to you on the days of the week, or when this eventually stops, because I don't want to do it forever, obviously, right? So once that experience ends and it's only you in the chart, you're sitting in front of the chart, you're going to have these moments where you're expecting something to occur. You're expecting price to deliver a certain way by this time, by this manner, to avoid certain areas and not come back to a specific area. You're going to have that. You're going to be expecting it. And then it'll do the very thing that you don't want to see it do. How are you going to engage beyond that? Are you going to lose your mind? Are you going to grow frustrated? Are you going to get angry? Are you going to become scared? Are you going to become anxious? Are you going to feel like this doesn't work anymore? Or is it going to feel like, oh, ICT is mainstream now and they're changing the algorithm? Listen, we're only going to focus on price delivery. I have dozens. I have dozens of models. All of them work. All of them. My own private students don't even know all of the things. Okay, there's certain things a trader is going to hold back for themselves and for their family. Okay, I don't need to show you everything, but I need to show you how to read price, because once you understand how to read price live, you can go right onto my YouTube channel and go through and pick the model that you want to use for an entry. If you want to use optimal trade entry, easy. You want to use a breaker, easy. You want to use a mitigation block, easy. Institutional order flow entry drill. All that is a partial entry into a fair value gap. That's all it is. It's not even going into the middle point of the gap, which is consequent encroachment. So in your notes, institutional order flow is just a partial entry into a fair value gap that you expect to see remain open. You will have more insights shared with you over live data, because it's not effective for me to teach it to you because it looks like cherry picking. That's what everybody that hates me says. It's just cherry picking. It's not cherry picking when I do it live in front of you. And I'm going to try to convey the logic that I use when I'm reading price. When I'm doing my executions on TradingView and you see them enter the stop, the target, my first partial, annotate where I think it's going to go. And I try to walk you through as fast as I can in a 1 minute candlestick. I mean, that 1 minute candle's painting live. So it's very difficult for anyone with common sense to argue the point that I'm constantly talking nonstop about what the market's doing. I'm typing, I'm annotating. There's no way I can do that somewhere else. I can only focus on, I can only focus on one thing at one time. So when you see this live, when you experience it live, you need to constantly remind yourself before we start the stream in February, and the first one is February 7th. Okay. You need to remind yourself that you are not there to try to take a trade. I know some of you are hard luck right now and you just want to correct the drawdown. You want to fix yourself. You want to start making money. I understand all those things. That's completely normal. That's normal. But you're going to ruin this experience for yourself. You're not going to learn properly if you attach the money to it. This is the reason why you're tape reading with me. You're going to see I'm not going to push the button in front of you. I'm going to outline this is where the market is right now. It should not go down to this level. It should go to this level next. Do you see the difference there? I cannot be faulted if you recklessly go out there and press a button, and it's going to happen. You already know you're that person that's going to do it. And you're that person that's going to be in my comment section saying, I followed that trade and I got stopped out. You're a jerk. Okay. You own that. That's your responsibility. I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to tell you every single time in every single live stream, do not trade. Don't use this for a trade signal service. It's not. Because I need you to understand, once you see me outline the candle and I'm explaining why it should and shouldn't do that, I need you to feel what it feels like watching that candle without any monetary attachment. That's the part that every one of my students skip over and they fail because of that. You all want to know how to succeed in using my stuff, my concepts? Do everything that my failed students, and I have them, every person out there that teaches anything has a group of people that simply can't do it. And it's because they are not disciplined, period. That's the way it is. Because if you keep doing something over and over and over again, okay, which is like what? Eat a box of donuts every fucking week, you're going to get fat, okay? If you abstain from eating that and you increase your output in terms of your exercise, you're going to lose weight. Doesn't matter if you don't like or like the personality of the person that told you this is the routine you should follow. Because I'm not here for friends. I don't give a shit if you like me. Okay. But I want to see you succeed. I want to see you do well. But if you don't listen to what I'm telling you in its entirety, and you only want to cherry pick the terms everybody wants to use against me, you just want to cherry pick the things that I'm teaching and only take the things that you like out of it. Yeah, I'm gonna use this fair value gap. It's easy. Let me go out there and put my funded account or my live account attached to a chart, and it looks like a fair value gap right there. No logic as to why it should be a fair value gap. No logic as to why the market should even be going higher. No narrative, no study, no back testing, no sitting in front of the chart reading price action for months. Months. This needs to happen. You have no idea what you're doing. And you think going out there pushing a button because I'm talking over top of it is going to be this magic recipe for you to make money. No, you have no idea the level of anxiety you're going to feel because here's what's going to happen. I'm not aware that you're in your trade. I'm going to be obviously aware that some of you are going to do it foolishly. Not that I'm trying to hurt you. I would never purposely try to put anybody watching my stream in the wrong side of the marketplace. That's not my intent here. But I'm being responsible in the most upfront manner I can. If you are trying to learn from me, and if you really want to be independent in your thinking about how you should engage the marketplace, this is the absolute best way to do it, folks. And I swear to God Almighty, I wish I could convey it much harder than this. I don't know how to articulate it more than that. I want you to do it the right way. And I have paid students that don't want to fucking listen. From 2016, they still didn't do this part yet. They still didn't do this part. And it just takes a couple months to do it. But distractions, lack of discipline, personal schedules, personal character flaws, stubbornness, all those things are contributing factors. Fear of doing it wrong. For some reason, y'all think that, you know, pushing a button with a live account because you think it might do something. And, if you get it right, it'll ease the pain of the scary feeling of, what happens if I get it wrong? So you focus more on, if I get it right and I make money, wow, that's going to be awesome. If you're trying to learn like that, you're doing it incorrectly because you're making every transaction with these charts a monetary success or failure when you don't know how to trade. So the only thing that's establishing is fear of failure. That's exactly what that does. If you just simply look at the comment section of the videos and the Twitter spaces and the Twitter posts that I make, the main psychological barrier that people constantly bring up is how does a trader overcome the fear of it not moving the way they want it to do it? And here's how you have to get over this. You have to watch day after day, week after week, month after month, how you read price. When you see me outline the price action, as we come to a PD array, okay, something that would be utilized for a setup, okay, a an entry model, okay, or a multiplier, the thing that makes your trade uniquely yours. I'm going to read them out to you live as the market's panning out and printing price. I want you to remember that you are not being invited to take a trade on that. I want you to study it. And the one that makes the most sense to you, the one that you can see easily outlined as I'm explaining it, you're going to feel like, oh, I don't understand that mitigation block. I would never use that. But some of you will say, you know what? That's the very damn thing I've been looking for. That makes perfect sense to me. And all of you could be using a different PD array that may exist in that price run, have different results, enter at a different time, and still be profitable. It sounds like it can't be like that, but it's absolutely just like that. And seeing it live, watching me outline every single 1 minute and 5 minute candlestick is the only way that's going to happen because you're not doing it yourself. you're watching videos that's something I've already done or lecturing about from years ago, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're not learning how to read the tape. You have to know what that feels like watching it. And when I do get it wrong, and it's going to happen because I'm looking at the smallest time frames intraday.